On my graduation, my mom gave me a one-way bus ticket and said good luck out there. She thought she was kicking me out of her life. She had no idea I was already the youngest co-founder of a $100 million medical AI research company. My name is Murrin Wilder, and the day I graduated college was supposed to be the proudest moment of my life. Instead it became the day my mother, Jessa, stood in the parking lot, avoided my eyes, and handed me a thin envelope. She didn't hug me, she didn't smile, she just said in a flat voice, "Here, since you're so grown now." When I opened it and saw a one-way bus ticket to Arizona, she added, "Good luck out there." Like she was tossing away a piece of trash. Not her own daughter, she turned and walked off without waiting for my reaction, leaving me standing there with my gown still on and tears burning the corners of my eyes. What she didn't know, what she never bothered to ask, was that I wasn't the helpless girl she assumed I was. For 2 years I had been building something with two brilliant partners, Rowan Sterling and Myra Vaughan. Late nights in labs, endless coding, medical data analysis, breakthroughs that made us forget to eat. 3 days earlier, we signed a deal that valued our medical AI research company at $100 million. We had developed an AI diagnostic engine that could detect rare diseases within minutes. Investors were fighting for a seat at our table, and I owned 30% of the company, but I didn't tell my mother, because for her, my success never mattered unless she could control it. As I walked to the bus stop she clearly expected me to use. I remembered the way she always compared me to my half-sister, Celine, the golden child who could never do anything wrong. Celine got designer shoes, private tutors, birthday trips, while I got excuses, silence, and guilt. I spent years believing I was the unwanted one, the burden, the mistake she regretted, but deep down, something always felt off. Like she was punishing me for a crime I didn't commit. I didn't take the bus, I called Rowan, and when he picked me up, he looked at the ticket in my hand and said softly, "She really did this on your graduation day." I nodded, trying to swallow the humiliation, and he just squeezed my hand. He didn't know the whole story. No one did, not even me, not yet. 2 weeks later, everything exploded. My mother showed up at my new apartment, angry, desperate, shaking. She didn't ask how I was doing. She didn't apologize. She went straight to accusing me. "Did you tell Celine?" she demanded. "Did you tell her the truth?" I stared at her confused. She barged past me and kept pacing, ranting, sweating, saying things that made no sense. Until suddenly she blurted out the sentence that changed everything. "Your father wasn't supposed to come looking for you." I froze, because the man I grew up calling my father died when I was 13, or at least that's what she told me. She must have seen the confusion on my face, because she collapsed on the couch and whispered, "Murrin, the man who raised you wasn't your real father. Your real father is alive, and he has been trying to contact you." I felt the world tilt beneath me, my heart beat thundering in my ears. She said she hid every letter, every message, every attempt he made. She said she did it to protect her marriage, but the truth spilled out quickly, ugly and sharp. She was scared he'd want me, he'd claim me, he'd expose everything she lied about. That moment broke something inside me. The years of rejection, coldness, favoritism, and cruelty finally made sense. She wasn't punishing me because I was unworthy. She was punishing me because she was afraid of losing control over truth she buried. I kicked her out. She screamed, begged, threatened. Then she left, and I thought that was the end of it. But the real twist came 4 days later when Celine called me crying. She said Mom had told her everything. But not the real everything. She lied again. She told Celine that I was dangerous, manipulative, that I ruined the family, and that she needed to cut ties before I destroy her life too. Celine believed her and blocked me everywhere. And for a moment it hurt, until the anger hardened into clarity. I had stayed silent for too long, letting my mother rewrite the narrative every time, but I was no longer the powerless girl she raised. I was the co-founder of a medical AI company that the industry watched closely, and I had resources she never imagined. I hired a private investigator, not for revenge at first, but for answers. The report he gave me was thicker than a textbook, full of bank statements, hidden accounts, forged documents. But the biggest shock was this. My mother stole money meant for my education from my real father. He sent funds every year for my future, and she spent all of it on Celine, vacations, furniture, beauty treatments, things I never had. That was the day my revenge began. I didn't confront her. I didn't scream. I simply forwarded every document to the family lawyer she always used to threaten me with. I copied Celine. I copied my real father. And I copied the board members of the charity foundation where my mother worked as the treasurer. Within 48 hours, her life unraveled. The charity fired her for financial misconduct. the IRS opened an investigation, Celine called me multiple times in panic, and my real father flew into the city to meet me for the first time. When I saw him, tall, gentle, with the same brown eyes I had, I felt something I had never felt before, belonging. My mother showed up weeks later, looking smaller, broken, but still filled with pride. She asked me, "Are you happy now?" I looked at her calmly and said, "I'm finally free," and I closed the door in her face, not with anger, but with peace. For the first time in my life, my future belonged to me. Today, I run one of the largest medical AI research companies in the country, and every time I see my name on a conference banner or Forbes article, I remember that bus ticket, the one she gave me to push me away. I framed it in my office, not as a reminder of pain, but as proof that sometimes, being kicked out is really being set free. Not everyone who raises you is rooting for you. Sometimes your biggest breakthroughs happen after you walk away from the people holding you back. Please like, share and subscribe for more stories. Thank you.